Welcome back, gamers, to another episode of the Slow Run Cast. I am your host, the Iraqi Balboa, for Saturday, January 11th. And of course, I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Durwin Luke, or as I prefer to call him, the Durwinator. We are back. We just recorded a special 2025 preview episode. And that was 2 hours. We talked about 2024. We talked about what our predictions for 2025 would be. And we talked about what games we're looking forward to in 2025. That was a special episode. This is not a special episode. We are going to go back to the regular program. We have about, a few weeks of video game news to catch up on that we really haven't touched base on, just because the news is kind of slow over Christmas and we couldn't record for the last couple of weeks. But that's what we're going to do right now. And then next Sunday, we'll just cover the news and what we've been playing for the week of the 13th.
Dude, there was big news over the holidays. Huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was huge. It was huge. We
Yeah.
became the 51st state of the United States of America. And since we are American citizens now, we can also go to the Panama Canal for free and swim in that, because that belongs to the U.S. now.
I don't know if you really want to swim in the Panama Canal.
Chartered flights to Greenland too, if you're interested.
Yeah, free.
Yeah.
Talking about holidays and stuff, I don't know if you celebrate Christmas, but some of these developers got some sick presents.
Yeah, tell them about what presents the devs got.
So there's like two bigger stories that came out during the holiday. The first is we'll start off with Borderlands first. So the Borderlands staff all got some sort of pan that has like their logo, the Gearbox Studio logo on it, and the reasoning for why a pan is because they cooked this year, and Borderlands 4 is going to be #1 game of the year.
So cringe.
So stupid.
Here's a pan. So stupid. I would have threw the pan in the garbage as soon as I walked out.
It's such a claptrap move, though. Like, really, it's like a troll almost.
Yeah.
And then the second big piece of news is my favorite game, my 2024 game of the year, Stellar Blade. The developers there all got PS5 Pros.
Not bad.
And they got a bunch of cash.
How many devs work at that development studio?
Dude, I don't know, but I saw the picture for it, and they basically just had like I assume it's their lobby, and they just had like a stack of PS5 Pros. It reminds me of like that the scene in The Dark Knight Rises where Joker has like all the bundles of cash.
Yeah,
it just reminds me of that.
Do you think those are the only PS5 Pros that have been sold? I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
My friend actually bought one, and he like low-key bought one, didn't even announce it, and he's just like, yo, bro, yeah, now I'm like, he's like, now that the Pro's out, I'm gonna play Rebirth on the thing instead. So it's kind of
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Was he ashamed to buy one?
You have the Pro? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you didn't say? I'm like, you're bringing it to my house, and we're gonna play test this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna play test specifically the beach date.
The beach
for
date
for Final Fantasy VII.
Dude, I have some.
I do have to mention, I did start playing Final Fantasy VII again, and there was one part where it was chugging on my PS5, like in a battle, and like it was like stuttering frames. I was like, I've never seen this before.
What's your favorite team to go into battle with, or do you use all the characters? Do you swap them up?
I swap them up. It's just whatever. I really like the way that Tifa plays, but her health is so low that you like almost like die super quick.
So I guess the gist of what I'm trying to say is, if you were paying attention to Tifa, specifically Tifa's, then you wouldn't have noticed the frame drops.
You're right.
Yeah.
It would have been a bonus because the slow-mo would have increased the quality.
Yeah, man. If I go to heaven, I want Tifa to be real.
AI, man. Dude, I was on a side note. This kind of gets into like weird Nintendo Pokemon stuff. Like I was on the subreddit for Final Fantasy VII, and someone drew um, Aerith as a chocobo, and was like, "Would you still be playing Final Fantasy VII if Aerith was a chocobo?" And I'm like, "You guys are unhinged." Like the mods that are going to come, this is for sure a mod coming out on Final
Oh,
Fantasy
Aerith
VII, which
Chocobo, yeah.
yeah, when it comes out on PC. I was trying to find the picture for you to show you, but I can't find it anymore. It's probably got removed instantly.
Yeah. There's gonna be some wild stuff, bro.
Yeah,
When the dev was begging that they don't do it, I'm like, yo, bro, it's not gonna
yeah, that's a pipe dream, dude. Just
pipe dream.
just let it buck.
I'm gonna okay. Do we want to go in order of how we have this written, or do we want to just talk about the big thing? Let's just talk about the big thing. ES happened, and we have new 50 series graphics cards.
Yeah,
If your dumbass got a 4090 for Christmas, I hate to break it to you, whoever bought that for you could have just waited and bought you a 5070 for about a third of the price.
yeah. I think it's
Or so they say.
547 or something USD.
Yeah, so new series of Nvidia graphics cards are out. There's the 5090, 5080, 5070 Ti, the 5070. You could check online the price for the price points. The 5090 is a whooping 2,000 euros. I believe the 5080 is 1,000, and the 5070 Ti is like 800 or 700 US dollars, and I think the 5070 is 570 something. So, which is actually kind of slightly higher than what the 40 series were. But here's the catch: according to Nvidia, the 5070 has the capability and power of a 4090 for a third of the cost. And yeah, people. So there's mixed reactions. Some of the 4090 people are freaking out, rightfully so. But then in turn, there is an important point that's being pointed out: is AI. AI generated frames. And if you read between the lines, it sounds like the 5070 has the power of the 4090 only through AI, but not in actual reality. If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, is that what it actually is?
Yeah, so this is like all over Reddit, and people are like, "Oh my god, I'm losing all my money. I paid 2,000 USD for my 4090, and now it's trash. Like, might as well throw it out in the garbage." Nah, man,
Yeah.
it's AI. It's fake frames. Basically, AI creates these in between frames aggressively so that your 5070 has 4090 like performance.
Yeah, and
Only
it's
with
running
games.
200 and some frames
Yeah.
per second at 4K. And when you turn, and it's all with the power of DLSS 4.0, which
Yes.
is the next iteration of DLSS. Um, so if that DLSS is turned off on the 5070, theoretically it won't have 4090 performance. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's basically it. I think a lot of speculation online is that it would be very similar to like a 4070 Super
Mm,
version of the card. Um, it'll be actually kind of interesting to see how people review these, because like what is the best way to review this? Like, do you turn on all of the features and just say that, oh well, yeah, it's like right up there, or do you kind of turn it off, or do you find a in between in order to like really convey the level of performance for these cards? Yeah, but I don't think it's like there's no way it's got 4090 levels of
performance, but
performance
no.
with like
But
these things turned off.
what at what point does it stop mattering if they're AI developed frames? If they're
So
AI generated frames,
I was
what
watching
what does it matter?
a video on it, like to a person that doesn't really look into the small details around the actual main character. So like the foliage and like some of the effects of, like, let's say you're driving a car. Most people won't realize that a lot of these frames are fake,
Mm.
but if you know what you're looking for, you would be able to tell the difference between what is AI generated and what is
Yeah.
not. It's like almost like the uncanny valley where you look at an AI video and you're like, that just looks kind of like a little bit weird,
Mm.
right?
I guess we'll find out once they come out. I actually kind of got hyped for this announcement. I'm like, maybe I finally build a PC, but
So
not
I'm
yet.
I was
But
messaging you and
you,
I was like, man,
I think you buy the 5070 at least minimum.
I don't know. So I have
Because
a
you, bro,
68.
you need the best viewing for the Stellar Blade mods once it drops on PC, right? Why would you settle for anything less?
Yeah, so I have been PC gaming a little bit more lately, so I am almost very tempted to even go for 5090, but it's gonna be like
Chill,
3,000
bro.
US
Chill,
or
chill,
300
chill,
Canadian
chill, chill.
or 3,000
No
Canadian.
way, bro. 200, bro. That's gonna be like 250 Canadian dollars, 2,500 Canadian dollars.
No, it's
Probably more.
2,800 actually. And I want the
Bro,
founders edition of the card because it's a very small form factor and the cooling in it is like pretty crazy. But
I don't think you need it.
the founder cards can only be bought through Best Buy in Canada. So you have to deal with like Best Buy's shitty website. And if you remember how it was like to pick up PS5 Pro on Best Buy,
It's
it's
like
going to
the
be like
worst.
that.
5090 is insane, man. That's steep. That is steep.
Yeah.
5800 is steep. What is the 4080 at in Canadian?
I think it's like
The 5080.
2,000 something. It won't be
Dude,
as
it's 2000 or 1000.
the 5080 or the
The 5080.
5080 is 1,000 USD, right? So it's probably going to be closer to, after
1500?
markup, it's probably going to be like closer to like 1,800 probably. My take.
Steep, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's steep if you're building brand new, but I mean, I would probably be throwing it in my system, but then I'll be
Mm.
tempted to upgrade everything else.
We also got the AMD next gen RDNA
Yeah.
graphics cards.
So they renamed their cards. They jumped from 7,000 series to like the 9,000.
Ooh.
AMD does the weird things like that where they try and like change up their branding so it is more in line with like Nvidia, but then they also want to be like one step ahead, so like people get confused and they're like, "Oh, this is a 9,000
This is a
series
9,000,
card,
yeah.
right?"
Like as if you're gonna get confused if you're buying a graphics card buying PC. You're already a major nerd at that point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. So like they're putting out a 9070 RDNA 4 hopefully will be a little bit more comparable with the 5080 and the 5070 Ti. We'll have to see what happens. A more interesting thing that I wanted to talk about with AMD is actually their integrated graphics. So like how like old, like I guess like Apple, um uh, since everybody knows that, like their M1 series chips, they have like a GPU and then like a CPU together, and like in general the performance is really good with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the the AMD was like kind of the company that should have created what the M1 series was like, because when they bought ATI back in the day, really the dream was that they would have a CPU and they would have a GPU. It would be all in one. It would be like amazing. It would basically just destroy everything on the low to like mid tier graphics card section, so that everything would just be super compact. You buy one thing, you put it in a motherboard, and it all just works.
Mm.
So they put out something called Ryzen AI Max. Of course, they have to use the AI branding because everybody's using it, but
Of course.
it's essentially like their own created chip that has a CPU and a GPU, and the performance is apparently pretty amazing in it.
Ooh.
In the previous episode where I was talking about handhelds being big, if they were able to bring this over to the handheld side, I think this will be like crazy performance in such
On
a
a
small
handheld.
package on a
Yeah.
handheld.
In a small form factor
Yes.
that you could carry in your hand. And
Yeah.
because that's the big question about handheld. It's like, do I really want to play handheld, or I want to play this game best settings? Or yeah,
Right. So it brings down the cost because you're just buying one chip, and the efficiency must be pretty decent on it too because everything's on one die, right? So
yeah.
that's
That
the big thing from CES that
CS.
everybody's talking about. Yeah.
We also touched base in the last episode, just as we were talking about Steam OS, which came out at CS2 being on party platforms. We talked about the new Legion Go S, which is effectively now almost like a Steam Deck because of the Steam OS third party that it has on it. And then yeah, we talked about the new handheld from Acer. Is it the huge one?
Yeah, Acer because it's the
Yeah,
Nitro. Yeah.
yeah, one that's like literally the size of, you could kill someone with it. Yeah, so fun stuff at CES. Um, we uh, we got some news also. Speaking of hardware, we got some news about Xbox's next gen console potentially releasing in 2026, next year, and being called Xbox Prime. This isn't obviously an official announcement or anything. This is just a leak. I don't know. Any thoughts? This is kind of an interesting date for me because I did
hmm
not see this soon. Because if you look at previous console generations, recently the PS4, Xbox One was 7 years exactly, from 2013 to 2020. The one before that was 2005 for the 360 and 2006 for the PS3 to 2013. Same amount. Same amount. This is like a shorter console generation. It's almost like a PS2 console generation or an Xbox, original Xbox.
So I just clicked into the link that we have on our show notes, and it looks like the same guy, that reporter Jez Corden, who also debunked or provided some updates on like the state of Xbox, has also just came out and said that there's no such thing as an Xbox Prime launching in 2026.
Yeah, I just see that right now.
Yeah. So that's pretty. I guess
All
that
right.
guy came out spitting facts this week.
There is no such thing as Xbox Prime launching in 2026.
I
So
wonder.
it's the same guy who heard it is basically reporting back and saying, nah, it's not true.
I thought it was a different guy that announced
Or,
it.
oh no, you're saying it's a different guy, yeah.
Yeah. The reporter Jez Corden. That's the guy who gave us some updates that we'll talk about later
Okay.
in the Xbox section. But the guy who originally leaked it was some guy who does like Call of Duty leaks.
I mean, it sounds like believable news, but yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Xbox Prime. It actually sounds like a troll. Xbox Prime.
is that the Xbox and Amazon Prime combo console?
Yeah. Speaking of Xbox, we got some numbers for Activision costs, Activision Call of Duty titles costs and sales, and we found out that Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which released in 2015, cost an absurd $430 million. This is back in 2015. Only recently have we been hearing of like Concord. Recently, we thought was like 400 million, but these guys already are investing this much in their games.
I wonder if these dollars are adjusted for inflation. That's the one
So,
thing I didn't really notice on the article. I wonder if
so
they.
they're adjusted for inflation. So
No,
they would have
I'm
been
wondering if they are.
Yeah.
Because if it is, that would be ridiculous in
Yeah.
today's
Yeah.
amount.
Modern Warfare 2019 was even more, 640 million, and then Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War was $700 million, and it only sold 30 million copies. Which, let's say, those 30 million are being sold at full price, which they obviously are not. But let's just go with that.
Yeah. I think the other aspect of it is as well that was mentioned in that article was yeah, that's the cost of the game, but then there's also the loot boxes, which make them
Oh,
a
of course.
boatload of money.
Boatload of money. Even if even with that low sell, they made their money back. And the high cost for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, they
Oh
made
yeah,
1.8 billion. If we go $60 per US dollars per game sold, which obviously isn't the case, it's less, but let's say that counters that cost with the loot boxes or whatever, which is probably even more. It's already 1.8 billion. So they could take a hit like that, and and development can cost $700 million
there's a
for a game.
reason why it was sold for so much to Xbox.
Yeah, this is a money printer, bro. That's insane.
Yeah,
And
if they
that's
can
like the
find a way
worst
to,
selling. Think about the one that sold 43 million.
yeah,
Yeah.
if they can find a way to lower those costs, then like that's
Oh,
big money for Xbox.
yeah. I mean, it's still a significant amount of money. It's still almost
Hmm.
doubling your money, right?
Yeah,
Even more. Um, let's jump the boat a little and go to Sony and then double back to Xbox, because we got some information from the Naughty Dog founder, and he revealed the budgets of the original games and why they sold it to Sony eventually. Why they sold Naughty Dog to Sony. Yeah. So it was they're saying the original games that they're working on, they started working in the 80s. Um, something like 50K per game. And then it slowly went up. Their first Crash Bandicoot cost 1.6 million. Jack and Daxter from 2001 cost 15. Pack 3 a few years later cost 45 or to 50 million, which also is a revelation to me because I didn't think the numbers were that high in the PS2 console generation. I didn't
yeah.
realize they were already climbing that fast by then. I thought this
Hmm.
was more a recent phenomena, but I guess not. Like even then, they've been climbing, going through the roof. Even those games that
Yeah, I
used to
don't
come
know.
out.
Like 15 million for Jack and Daxter 3? That's, oh no, sorry,
No,
45 to 50.
45 million
That's
for
pretty
Jack 3,
crazy.
which they used to, so it's like the cost was still pretty high back then, but they used to pump these games out annually. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
every year there was a game coming out. So now we have development times of like 4 to 5 years, but yeah. So anyway, I guess he left in 2004, and so now, yeah, basically just explaining in this interview why they sold to Sony because of these
Yeah,
crazy
the
costs.
crazy costs. And they basically had to find funding somewhere
Yeah, honestly,
if they wanted.
I didn't know Naughty Dog was this old. I actually had no idea. I thought Crash Bandicoot was like the first game they worked on. I didn't
Hmm.
realize they were from '84.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let me see what the original. Yeah, I don't even know about these games. Ski Craze, Dream Zone, Keef the Thief, Rings of Power, Way of the Warrior. I didn't know about any of these. This game came out on the 3DO, Sega Genesis, Amiga, and Apple II. That game in 86, 87, 88, 89, 92, 94, and then they came out with Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. 96, 97, 98, 99 or all Crash
Hmm.
Bandicoots, like annually, right? Jack and Daxter 1 was 2001, Jack 2 2003, Jack 3 2004, Jack X Combat Racing 2005, Uncharted 2007, Uncharted 2 2009, Uncharted 3 like even the Uncharted were only 2 years apart. That's the crazy thing. And
Yeah,
then
and they were
even Last of Us
dealing
were
with
with
like the PS3 hardware too,
yeah,
which
the
is like
PS3
complex to work with.
7,
Notoriously
9,
complex.
11. Yeah, their PS3 games are literally 2007, 2009, 2011, 2013. 2 year cycles.
Hmm.
And then that's when Last of Us Part 2 came out, Last of Us 1 came out. And then 3 years to Uncharted 4, and then they had a year for Lost Legacy. Another 3 years till Part 2. Now we're well into 4 or 5 years
Into remakes.
without a game now. Yeah, all remakes after that. It's literally just remasters. Anyway, yeah, that is Naughty Dog. And speaking of Naughty Dog, we have some funny news actually. You tell them this.
All right, so Kanye West, the GOAT. Kanye West, whether or not you believe he's the GOAT, we'll leave that up to you.
Yeah.
But he came out on Instagram the other day with a screenshot of The Last of Us Part 2 saying it's the best game that's ever made. So you've
Yeah.
heard it here first. The GOAT is saying that
Kanye West, Yee, is
The
saying
Last of Us
The Last of
Part
Us is the
2
best game.
is the best game.
And he's playing it on Survivor Plus difficulty. Which is crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, he must be playing it in between his meds. There's
All
no
right, bro.
way.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, bro. I screwed up the segues. I'm like fully into Sony now. It makes no sense to go back to
Well, we
Xbox.
might as well just go through
So
it.
just go here. So we have The Last of Us Part 2 Season 2 release date trailer is out. I thought it would be a January, but it's April 13th.
Yeah. So the April 13th date is a speculation date based on what is currently out on HBO.
Oh, so that's not a
Yeah.
hard.
So April 2025 is the date that they gave us. And then based on that, there was like some Last of Us news person that figured out that it's most likely going to be the 13th based on the last episode of the show before like it finishes its season before this starts basically.
I'm looking forward to this.
And then the other like Sony news that kind of came out during CES
Came out in CS,
is some crazy like fourth dimension
4D
stuff. Yeah, 4D
4D VR.
stuff. So that you can smell those dirty mushrooms in The Last of Us. But yeah, basically what it is immersion to the next level.
It's like this tech, yeah.
Yeah. So a big thing with CES is like screens are getting bigger and like people are getting screens that are like 100 plus inches big. So what it is like 3 giant screens. And then there's like some sort of thing in the middle that like releases scents, and then you're in there like with basically a fake gun, and you can kind of like shoot at things and kill things. Crazy if they actually have like booths like this. And I think we were talking about this before the show itself, but I was saying it would be insane if Sony made their own like amusement park with like a few of these stations.
Yeah. You go to like the Sony amusement park or theme park, and it doesn't have to be rides, but it could be like part of the immersion is you go into these things and you play.
Yeah, like imagine like I don't know, like The Last of Us, but you're like a team of people clearing out like a building or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So you can have like zombies coming out from like or clickers coming out from different angles from each side of the screen kind of deal.
Yeah, and this isn't VR. You're not putting a headset on. You're going into like a cube, right? So this isn't something that you can't buy for your house, really. It doesn't make any sense, right? It is like a physical thing. You go inside and there's screens on all sides, and it's supposed to put you in the highest level of immersion where you're feeling like you're in that scenario.
Do you think 4D movies are coming back?
It's kind of funny. When I saw this, I instantly thought about 4D movies, about like getting sprayed in the face at the movie theater or something.
Yeah. Or like, you know, if something smells bad, they like put out a scent in the middle of the thing. Or like the vibration seats that we have in Canada. But I think it's more so in the States that they do the other stuff.
Yeah. Sticking with Sony, apparently there's a new Sony studio in LA that is starting to hire. It could be Jason Blundell's next venture. I don't know. I didn't know they opened a new studio, but yeah, it maybe is this. I mean, it's just rumor galore. Like there's nothing, no information that we have right now.
Wasn't there a job posting though? I thought
there's listings. There's job postings or something like that,
but no confirmation.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see about that.
Yeah, the listing says is newly established AAA studio based in LA, driven by a team of seasoned industry leaders.
I like
Interesting.
That one. Seasoned. What are you seasoned with? Okay. Let's circle back to Xbox tangent. So there have been rumors or some leaks uh, uh, which kind of already, I mean, not even 2 hours in, prove my predictions correct about the state of Xbox. And yeah, the word on the street is several games are coming to both PS5 and Switch, or not both, but some are coming to PS5, some are coming to Switch. Hellblade 2 and Gears of War apparently are slated for PS5 release dates this year. And also, not sure how, but Halo the Master Chief Collection and Microsoft Flight Simulator potentially coming out to Nintendo Switch 2, not 1, but the rumored Switch 2 in 2025. I'm not sure how, but especially Microsoft
Yeah,
Flight Sim. I don't know how.
there's no way.
I don't even know how to think. It might
It's
be
gonna
one of
look like a
those Switch.
polygon.
It might be one of those Switch games where it runs on the cloud, right? Like you buy the game on Switch, but you can't play it natively on Switch. It runs on the
I
cloud.
don't know, man. It's it would
There's a
also
few
have
games
to
like that.
it would also have to mean that the Switch Wi-Fi is strong enough to download all of those assets, right? Or like a
That's a good
copy of
point.
it.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger, bro. I'm just
Yeah.
reporting. I'm just
No,
reporting.
no. I said I'd find a way to shoehorn this in,
Yeah.
but Nintendo leaks for Switch 2 galore.
Oh my god. I'm so done with Nintendo Switch 2 release. To be honest with you, I think in hindsight, the biggest story from 2024 was nothing that I mentioned in our last episode, but it was actually the Switch 2 not coming out. I think was the biggest story of 2024. I think we spent all of 2024 like, yeah, it's happening. Where's the Switch 2? It's coming. Where's the Switch 2? You know?
Yeah. And then now we're here. It's like, so Nintendo officially came out with all these to address all the leaks that have come out with like all the 240p pictures, and said that this is
Yeah.
not a official like announcement or whatever. This is not an official picture. It's like, well, yeah, obviously it's not an official picture.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
leak.
it's a leak, and it literally looks as bad as your games look on the Switch One.
What if these guys are like so pissed? They're like, yo, you know what? You know what? We're not releasing the Switch 2, okay? This is what you wanted. This is what you're gonna get. We're not releasing the Switch 2.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
it's
get
definitely on
super
brand
petty.
for Nintendo. They're petty.
Okay. Another one of my predictions seems to be, you know what? I'm starting to think these predictions weren't very bold because they're already coming true. Ubisoft appoints advisors to explore all company options. So if you listen to our last episode, I talked about how Ubisoft is in a precarious position, and I suspect they are either going to get acquired or downsized or merged or something of the sort in 2025. I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. No matter how well Assassin's Creed does, once you kind of open that door, realistically, like, I think it's going to be a prophecy that fulfills itself, right? You don't,
Yeah,
yeah, you don't
yeah,
just announce that you're doing all these things and then I don't know where it'd be like, yeah, actually, no, like, it's not happening, right?
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, moving along, we have the Steam Award winners revealed. You want to list these off and then
Yeah,
tell us
I'll
about?
run through it.
Yeah,
So, uh, the big wins: Game of the Year, Black Myth Wukong. This was what a lot of people were speculating or wanting to happen online, and it looks like it did pull a win somewhere. VR Game of the Year, Metro Awakening. That's the same winner for Video Games Awards, was it? No,
no,
Batman
it
was,
was
right?
Batman,
Yeah,
but Batman is
but
not on
Batman
Steam.
is specifically on
Yeah,
Meta, so this makes sense. Labor of Love, Elden Ring, which is fair. Best game on Steam Deck, God of War Ragnarok.
that's crazy. I didn't think that
Yeah,
thing would run good on Steam Deck.
yeah. I wonder how well it runs, but I guess it runs well enough to win an award. Better with Friends Award, Helldivers 2. It's pretty given. Outstanding visual
Visual style.
style, Silent Hill 2. Best innovative gameplay, Liar's Bar. Have you heard anything about this game?
That's that card game, yeah.
Okay. Best
A
game
lot
you
of
suck
streamers
at
are playing.
award. Black Myth Wukong.
Games just yeah.
I guess people are just just hate that difficulty spike. Best soundtrack, Red Dead Redemption, outstanding story, rich game, Black Myth Wukong, and then Sit Back and Relax award, Farming Simulator 25.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Again, I feel like it's an incomplete sample just because it's on Steam, so it
yeah,
doesn't
it's
have
mainly the
every.
Steam ones. Are the Steam awards community voted too?
Yeah, oh yeah. This would be just users.
Yeah, community picked winners. So I mean, it makes
There's
sense
a
that Black Myth would have won that.
there's a PlayStation equivalent of this too. I'm not sure if there's an Xbox one, but there's a PlayStation
Oh, okay,
equivalent.
it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you could check on PS Plug.
But yeah, anyways, the next story that basically kind of stems from the Steam Video Game Awards. So the CEO of Game Science took to Weibo, which is like a Chinese social media platform, to basically speak about Black Myth after the win on the Steam Awards. Apparently, he was very emotional. But the big thing that came out of this was he was talking about Black Myth on Xbox and said that the reason why there's no Xbox port is because of the Series S. And they couldn't get optimization properly working on it. Which just brings it right back to, unfortunately, the Series S on paper sounded really good, but in
Yeah, 4
actual,
years into the console generation,
yeah,
it sounds like this. We've already had the issue with Baldur's Gate 3. I think this is the second notable game where
yeah. Did
there's
Baldur's Gate
apparently
3 finally come out for the Series S?
only because Microsoft conceded and told Larian Studios, because Larian Studios' problem was they couldn't get the couch co-op to work on the Series S.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had everything else ready to go on the Series S and X, but they couldn't get couch co-op to work on the Series X. And Microsoft's basically condition is if you want to release a game on Xbox, there's got to be feature parity on Series S and X. You can't come out like featureless on the Series S. And they're like, bro, we just can't. So they just delayed the game. And eventually, Microsoft, after Baldur's Gate came out and it was like Game of the Year, Microsoft's like, we're stupid. We need this on our console. So they went out to them and, you know what? Since you guys are
Walk that
special
right
condition,
back.
yeah, we'll walk that right back. So they
So it is
quickly,
out, but it doesn't
it is
have
out.
the parity.
Yeah, which they made the exception for that game. So, remember when they had a little spat, these two guys, him and the Microsoft? I don't know if it was Phil Spencer or someone else, but basically these guys were saying, yeah, it was Microsoft either wasn't answering our emails or because the Series S thing. And then
Yeah.
Microsoft turned around. It's like, no, it's not. It's because you have a exclusivity deal
Yeah,
with somebody, with Sony or something, which I
it's-
never believed because Sony rubs that in your face if they have an
yeah.
exclusivity deal. I don't think they do silent exclusivity deals.
Yeah, they would
I
be
guess
like,
it was
we
also
have
essential,
this specifically for our console.
or I guess it
Yeah.
might have been during the time when they were trying to lay low and play victim when Microsoft was trying to buy Activision. So maybe they didn't want to come out and say we're, you know,
Yeah, but then when the game actually released, I wouldn't see why Sony would just start rubbing it in because at that point they were basically like destroyed Xbox in terms of sales performance, right?
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I still haven't played Black Myth. That's all I know. Yeah,
Maybe when it comes out to Xbox Series.
maybe I'll play it on Xbox when it comes to Game Pass. Last story we have here is there is a rumored Oblivion remake or remastered in the works from Virtuous in Unreal Engine 5. So all you Oblivion fans get excited because it sounds like this is a pretty real thing. And it sounds like it's coming out this year. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. We will report back when we have actual information.
Yeah, that's pretty big news for Elder Scrolls fans.
Especially since you're not going to get new Elder Scrolls for a while there, chumps. So enjoy it while it lasts. That's it for news this week.
Yeah, we speed run.
We spat.
We-
Basically what we did was we did the episode that we just did, the one about recap 2024 and look forward to 2025. In the process of doing that, we actually touched up on a lot of these news stories in passing. So it's kind of good that we did it in that order and not the other way around, because then we would have just like regurgitated a bunch of stuff in the next
Yeah.
episode. So then we went through the list of things and we're like, okay, we already talked about this, let's take it out. And we
Yeah,
left a
so we're
bunch of other
40
stuff.
minutes. We actually are on time.
This is good news. This means this gives me hope for the future.
Yeah,
We can go
now
through
we have an
week's
hour
news.
to talk about what we're playing.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So we've been off for like 3 weeks. There hasn't really been any big releases obviously over Christmas. Tell me what you've been playing, man.
There's only one thing I've hardcore spent my time on. And that was for one of my favorite game of the year, which is the Horizon Zero Dawn remake. I can officially report back. I have the platinum,
and
I
you
have
beat the game on
Ultra.
crazy.
Yeah, so
he still thinks Horizon's okay. It's good.
It is really
good. It's good.
I can't wait for this movie to come out.
Great. I wouldn't say it's that great. I've just spent like 300 hours in it, but
Yeah.
now you have to do it for Ultra on Horizon
Forbidden West, and that's gonna be after I finish Final Fantasy VII, because I thought back on the episode we were talking about how Final Fantasy VII was kind of a disappointment for me, and like after since I was on the PlayStation console already, I was like, oh man, I should really just try and finish this. So I've now officially jumped back into Final Fantasy VII.
Nice. And where are you at?
Still the Golden Saucer. I'm playing all
are you playing all the mini games?
Yeah, I am.
So good. Do you know I played every single mini game in that game, and I got like the best
stuff.
Almost all of them.
I didn't do it for the beach, because some of the games was like, oh man, I'm not gonna ever get 100% on this.
I did them all.
But I'm actually kind of annoyed. I don't know why I'm locked out of Queen's Blood rank 5 right now.
You haven't played the
I played all of the Queen's Blood.
There's
prior
like
to
boss. There's like a boss Queen's Blood for every level you rank up.
Yeah, I did. So I'm like rank 4, and then there's rank 5 at the Golden Saucer. So I don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of guys that you find in the world who you cannot play right away.
Oh, so I have to like come back to it?
Yeah.
Dude, Queen's Blood is the best mini game in Final Fantasy VII. Like there's just nothing like it.
Queen's Blood is amazing. I'm really hoping we get like a Queen's Blood mobile game that I could just brain dead play forever on my phone. Oh my god, I love.
Would it be better than Balatro?
No, I don't think so. Balatro's insane.
But
it's a pretty deep game. It's a pretty good game. It's pretty deep.
Yeah. I love how
it's not as simplistic as Balatro.
Yeah, there's like a lot of characters and stuff that you kind of just collect, which is really cool to see. Balatro I have on my phone, and then like I play here and there. I did get my sister's like fiance really hooked onto Balatro though.
Oh no!
Yeah. I showed him it.
My friends.
During Christmas, I just like let him play like one of the games, and he's like, "No, I can't like buy this on my phone. I know myself, I'm going to be addicted." And then like I saw him last week.
He bought it.
Before I got sick, and he was like, I gotta beat this before I return to work, because he had a few weeks off.
Oh my god, beat it! It's a hard, bro. It gets pretty hard. I'm having trouble winning runs, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
he's
unlocked quite a bit of the decks, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
Holy smokes, he went that hard into it?
Yeah, he went pretty hard. I was like, man, I'm just playing like casually, but like
I'm playing casually. Yeah.
I think this guy's like really addicted.
Yeah, that's insane. Well, good job, man. You got someone addicted.
All right. Yeah. What have you been up to?
Are you okay? My question is: Are you going to drop what you are doing when what's the game that's coming out? Dynasty Warriors comes out?
I think I probably will. It's like, I don't know, Fantasy 7 I'm playing like casually right now just because it's like the mini game, so I don't really feel like I've like gotten back into it.
Bogged into, yeah.
And then Metaphor is just like a crazy long game. I'm gonna play that whenever I get a
Oh
chance.
yeah, Metaphor as well. Yeah, yeah.
And then Ghost of Tsushima, like I
You're
should
spread
really
pretty thin
be.
there. You're spread pretty
Yeah,
thin.
I'm pretty
That's a lot
thin,
of games.
but I think Dynasty Warriors is just gonna like consume me, you know. But that's only if like there's waifus, and there's clearly waifus in there.
I from the start of the demo, I did not see any waifus, brother.
Dude,
There was no
don't
waifus. There was
worry.
just some super
Like,
exaggerated Chinese generals. There was no waifus.
no, don't worry. Like when you get through the story,
They start showing up.
Lubu's like wife is like basically the reason why he's dead. Um, she's a bae. Lubu's daughter is a bae. And then like there's a bunch of girls in the Shu dynasty that are baes. They're like
Oh,
cuter. And like one of them is like it's like much later in the years, but one of them is like a barbarian. So like she's got like the furry the furry cover ups.
dude, you know you just inspired me. We need to have a segment on this podcast right here. We need to have a segment every podcast episode called Waifu Watch or Waifu Alert. And we just need to report back if there's any new waifus that we've come across in gaming. Just
Perfect.
Waifu Alert. Okay?
Perfect.
Starting
Okay,
next episode.
I can't wait for your Dynasty Warriors update and who you think is the best waifu in
Yeah, yeah.
Dynasty Warriors. There's lots.
Yeah, I really wanted to play the demo just before we got on here, but I didn't have enough time. So I'll try tonight, and maybe by next week, I don't know if I'll just be reporting on the demo or if I will be reporting on the full game that I actually bought and I'm playing. Because
Yeah.
by next episode, it's going to be out, the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Anything else you've been playing?
No, there's stuff I'm watching, but I'll let you go first in what you're playing.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I had very high hopes for this break that I was going to catch up on my backlog and put a dent into the 2024 backlog. So I'm up to date with a few stuff. Indiana Jones was one of the things I was going to play. Didn't get touched. Silent Hill 2 was one of the things I'm going to get played. Didn't touch. Alan Wake 2 was the things I was going to play. Didn't get touched.
You mean you don't have the review up for us?
No, unfortunately, no. I bought a copy of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown to play.
Did
I
it
took
come in?
Yeah, it came in. I had 3 weeks off, dude. I was going to go to town on these games. I was going to catch up on the backlog and actually have some good stuff to report here. That didn't happen. I even bought a copy of Assassin's Creed Mirage because I was like, you know what? Let me play Mirage. If I get back into the Assassin's Creed kick, maybe I'll review Shadows when it comes out. Didn't touch it.
There's not a chance you're reviewing Shadows.
No. I had a bunch of multiplayer games that I was going to play. I wanted to play the Helldivers 2 update. I wanted to play Fortnite Ballistic. I wanted to play Hunt the Showdown. They just added to the Game Pass with the Post Malone update. I was going to play, I promised my brother I'd play Fallout 76. I made too much promises in my head about what I was going to play. None of that stuff happened.
Dude, you literally announced all these games, and that's like over like 100 hours of gameplay.
It was over like 100-hour game. It was not even possible. I said I was going to finish 7 Rebirth and try to get the plat, maybe. I don't know. I said I was going to go back and try to finish the DLC for Elden Ring because I'm on the last boss.
Yeah,
None of that
crazy.
happened. None of that happened. I played literally, I think primarily, most of my hours were spent playing 2 games. Balatro, we don't need to double back on that. I was addicted. Literally, I bought it on my phone. I said I wouldn't buy it on my phone. I bought it on my phone. I'm basically between my phone and my PlayStation. The other thing, I've been playing like an animal. I had to like slow down a little bit because it was consuming my life. Marvel's Rivals.
Do you think this is like the best forever game that you've ever touched?
This is the best forever game I've touched since Chivalry 2 2021. And Chivalry 2 is not that big of a forever game. It doesn't get that much crazy updates. It's kind of a niche community.
Yeah.
You know.
So would you pick Marvel Rivals or Chivalry 2?
Chivalry is just Chivalry was such a good time. It was so funny. But I mean, like, I can't say it's too fresh. Like, I have confirmation, or what do you call it?
I mean, is it too fresh? Their first season's done now, right?
Yeah, it's too hype, man. This game is just too consuming. It's too much fun. I'm starting to get like kind of good at it too.
Yeah. Who's your main?
Namor,
Still.
of all
No
people.
more. Yeah.
Namor. Yeah, Namor. I just kind of learned this character. Basically, what happened, I played this game. I don't really play hero shooters, but I played this game with my boys when it came out. Played for like 2-3 days. It's kind of boring. And then I was like, you know what? Let me make a solid effort to go through every single character, try them all out, and actually learn what they do. Right? And then I did that. And then I tried Namor. And I'm like, dude, the first time I tried this guy, I'm like, this guy's so boring. What a garbage character. And then I tried him and I'm like, yo, I think I found something. And I started playing him. And then my boys who are like deeper in the community into Reddit, watching videos, they're like, yo, actually, it turns out now the community's saying he's actually like, he's basically one of the meta characters. Yeah.
I know who's on your next waifu watch.
Waifu Watch. Mrs. Invisible, is it? Is that her name?
Mrs.
Or Miss Invisible?
Miss Invisible. Reed Richards' wife in Fantastic Four.
This is a deadly edition. This just got added yesterday to Marvel's Rivals. This is a deadly edition. I will let you guys go and search. And Durwin, I am going to tell you to. She has an optional, like a skin, a cosmetic that you could buy.
Oh, are you gonna buy this? Are you gonna buy this?
Bro, just search it up. Skin. I'm not gonna say anything. There's a skin called Malice. Okay. Well, there's the doggos. What's going on?
Yeah.
Is that Macy?
This is amazing. She's a lot bigger now. Here, let me show you how long she is now.
Dude, she grew.
Yeah, she's like
Holy
the size
smoke,
of my
she's tiny,
upper
man.
leg now.
Is she almost as big as Eddie?
She's just as long. She's not quite in terms of weight, but like her length, and she's taller than Eddie too.
Oh, bro.
Sorry, you said Malice?
Malice.
Dude, it already sounds so dirty.
Yeah, it's bad. Give me a second.
Well, that's the first hit on Google search.
What? I'll be right back. 1 second.
Dude, I can't find it. The Malice.
Just search up Marvel's Rivals Malice. Miss Invisible. Invisible. She's actually a pretty good character too, actually.
Oh. It's like
deadly.
almost like BDSM.
Yo, they don't care, bro. These devs don't care. Stuff. These devs are like literally like anti-woke. They don't care.
Yeah. Dude, do you have to buy the skin?
I was going to yesterday, but then I'm like, bro, I'm just too tired. That's why I want to buy this right now.
Dude, I will literally buy this for you right now if you main Invisible Woman for like a week.
Yeah, I might use her because I obviously main Namor when I go DPS, but sometimes the team requires something else, so I usually go Luna Snow as a healer.
Yeah, are you playing on Steam or are you playing? You're playing on PS5, right? I'm
playing on PS5. Yeah, yeah, we could play together. It's crossplay, but for ranked. You can't. Yeah. There's no crossplay for ranked.
That's okay. I'll
you should give it a try. It's very fun. Yeah, it's a very fun game. That's Balatro. That's Marvel's Rivals. I have a bunch of other stuff that I've. Oh, dude, where'd I put my phone?
That you're playing, or that you plan to play,
or that I played. I played a couple of indie games. I played Planet of Lana, which is from 2023 on Game Pass. It is a inside like. I think my kid's home. It is a inside like, so it's like a puzzle platformer, quiet, silent game. I don't think it's as interesting as Limbo or Inside. It's pretty decent. I think the first half was kind of weak. Second half of the game definitely stronger.
Well, you have to be in you can't buy the you have to actually be in the Marvel Rival store in order to buy the skins, hey?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I only see the coins on here. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so Planet of Lana, that's on Game Pass. If you're into like Limbo or Inside, I would recommend. I don't think it's as strong as either of them, but it's a pretty fun game. I also played The Case of the Golden Idol. This is a murder mystery, fill in the blank, point and click, puzzle, game. So it is all about solving individual murder cases, which kind of line up to an overarching story. There's like 12 chapters. It's usually like there's a crime scene, and then you click on individual characters and you get hints and information clues from the world, and basically you get like keywords, and then you're supposed to solve the problem, fill in the blank keyword, like on this day in the morning, so and so was killed by this. This was accused of this, but blah 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 blah. There's like an overarching story that you kind of solve at the very end of the game. Genius game if you're into any type of puzzle game. If you don't have a console, you could play this on your phone. You could buy it on your phone. If you could actually, if you have a Netflix subscription, it's part of that as well. The
Mm-hmm.
Netflix for games thing. Yeah, cannot recommend it enough. The Case of Golden Idol, very good. And there is a new one that came out this year, which was Rise of the Golden Idol, which I intend on playing next. So
Is
both of
that
those
out
planned.
as well
That's
on
out.
Netflix?
That's recently came. I don't not sure if it's out on Netflix. I know Cases. I don't know if The Rise is out on Netflix. Those are two games that I recommend that I've played over the break. That's Planet of Lana, Case of the Golden Idol, both on Game Pass. Then I tried a bunch of games. I tried Little Kitty Big City with my son. Not deep enough in that yet, but he likes it a lot with the cats and stuff like that. I
The
have been
Rise of the
playing.
Golden Idol is on Netflix
It
Games.
is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Um,
I was just
and
installing actually both of them.
it's they're genius. They're so fun. They have so much charm to them. Then I have been playing a little bit For the King 2, which is also on Game Pass with my brother-in-law. This is not really my type of game. It's kind of like a Baldur's Gate like it's top-down view, turn-based. You roll a dice to move spots or whatever, and you have different luck draws, and it's an RPG, and then you do like turn-based combat,
It's like a
cartoonish
board
like
game
design,
almost.
almost like a board game, right? And then you go into dungeons and you have fights and you get better weapons. Not really my type of game, but I could tell it's good for what it's trying to do. Like I actually got pulled into it the few nights we played. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been playing on Xbox. I tried a few other things, but nothing worth mentioning. And on PS5, I have also finished. I played Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake. This is the first game from Joseph Ferris, who is the lead executive behind Hazelight Studios. He's like their creative director and the guy behind A Way Out, It Takes Two, and the upcoming I can't remember the game, what it's called, the one coming out in March from the It Takes Two developer. This is a remake of the original from like 2011.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say it's that good of a game or that good of a puzzle game, but you could tell it's the original kind of. You could see the original inspiration in some of his later co-op games. Played that one with my wife, short 4-hour game. And other than that, what I really want to talk about is I played my first Gran Turismo, which is a demo that Sony released for Gran Turismo 7, where if you're not really into Gran Turismo, or you're afraid of like simulator racing games, they just want to let you get like a taste of what they feel like. And you do like your licenses, you do some of your time trials, some races. And man, I really enjoyed it. And I think I'm going to buy Gran Turismo. And I played it
Yeah.
both regularly and I played it in VR.
Dude, was VR sick or
VR
what?
it's amazing. It's so cool. I wish there was a little bit more immersion with the controller because Gran Turismo on VR almost is just like a screen, really. You don't actually use the VR controllers.
Dude, you need to get a wheel.
Man, I just wish that like the VR controllers, if they were included in the game, whereby like when you were turning the wheel, you were actually turning the VR controllers and you're pressing the buttons on the VR controllers to shift up and down or whatever. I thought it would have been cooler, but there is no VR controller integration. It's almost like it's just a port where it's like the screen is
Just you
just
basically
that.
use it as screen.
You're just using a controller. You're using a regular controller, but you could look in the cockpit, see the guy's legs,
Dude,
look out the side of the window.
After this episode, you should look at Thermal Take's new racing sim station. Insane.
Thermal Take, yeah.
Yeah. Or is it Thermal Take or Thermal Right? But they basically they showed it off at CES, and there's like, it's your station is on 4 stands, and basically when you're turning the wheel, it'll like shift your whole seat as if you're like taking the corner.
Yeah. Yeah,
insane. I was looking at it, I'm like, man, this is like the next level up if you're like really into the racing
God,
sim.
I gotta search it up right now.
I don't know if
Oh,
it'll
okay,
work with the
okay.
PlayStation, but dude, it's insane. How much is it? Is there a price?
What? I don't even know what I'm. What is this? It, dude. There's one that's $14,000.
Dude, you might as well buy a car at that point.
Literally, there's literally something that's $14,000 here.
Dude, could you
There's a
imagine?
lot of these.
Could you imagine selling this to your wife? Like, hey, I know that we need a new car, but I bought a $14,000 sim instead.
Bro, my wife's cousin actually, he's pretty hard into iRacing. Apparently, he got into it over COVID, and now he has like a full rig and stuff, and he has like scheduled times that he goes on.
Dude,
Yeah,
this is the thing you need to sell him on next.
yeah. I get him to do that, then get him to do a review on the podcast.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'd give this a try, Derwin. Like, no commitment cost if you're really not into Gran Turismo. Give it a try, and
yeah.
then you'll actually like. It
I
lets
bought
you try
GT
a few
Sport,
videos.
but I don't know. I've never been into like, I'll play a bit, but then I won't ever finish the career kind of
Mm,
stuff.
yeah, I haven't played a racing game in a while. There's one more game I want to just mention. I actually tried UFL, which is the soccer game that's supposed to be the FIFA killer that I think I told you about. Came out late November, early December. It's actually a very good game, surprisingly. It feels a lot like FIFA. So whether you think that's good or bad is whatever. But the problem with it is it's very bare bones, I think. They don't have a lot of licenses. They don't have a lot of IPs. They don't have a lot of teams. They don't have a lot
They're
of
missing a
players.
lot of
They're
stuff.
trying to change the model whereby it's not like pay to play like FIFA where you're ripping packs, or it's like a gambling simulator to get like the
Yeah,
best teams and the best players. But then in turn it becomes a little grindy. I gave it a try for a bit. It seems promising. I'm not sure it'll really
yeah.
be a FIFA killer though.
Dude, the
That's
only soccer game I'm interested in is that rematch one from
yeah,
the Sifu studio. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
That'll be
insane.
cool.
It looks insane.
That'll be cool. That'll be fun. I'm really curious. Anyway, but I do recommend the Case of the Golden Idol if you're not going to play any of those other ones.
Yeah, yeah. I have it downloaded, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna play it.
you have the Netflix, right? Subscription. Just
Yeah,
try
yeah.
it
I've
on
got
your phone,
Netflix, so
and it eases you in, right? It doesn't hit you with anything too hard. You get like the feel of it
yeah,
first.
dude. I love like point and click adventures. I used to play them on like the web browser all the time.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a point and click adventure, simple as that. You just click on people, you get different clues from them. It goes into your store, and then you're supposed to figure out who is who and who killed who and used what or whatever. It gets more complex as you go along, but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's it for me. That was a lot, but
yeah. All
yeah.
right. I guess I'll go with deep dive. I was sick, obviously, so like I was either like asleep or just watching something dumb. So I decided to finally watch all of Secret Level. I don't know if you did.
I Derwin, I saw the reviews and I'm like, me and my wife are backlogged on like 6 different
Mm-hmm.
shows. Do we really want to watch Secret Level? No.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. So I took the plunge for us. I can give us a quick review. I do want to say the reviews aren't wrong. Like a lot of these episodes feel like they're just like half baked. Like does nothing other than to try and sell you the game, and it doesn't like bring out the same amount of emotion or like, oh, that's like real dark. Just like how the Love, Death and Robots series did. I can see what they were trying to do, but like, yeah, just a lot of these episodes fell short. I think there's only a few episodes that I listed that I would recommend. The first one is the Sifu episode. I think that really explained basically how Sifu works, and it kind of brought you start at a noodle store, and you end at a noodle store, which is kind of cool. I really liked Unreal Tournament, San or something like that. It was the character that it focuses on. The Pac-Man short was super cool. So you know how that new Pac-Man game is kind of a little bit dark.
Yeah, it's somewhat based on that. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
seeing that in
It's
the Secret Level, yeah.
I can see where it's based on. It's really like chilling. Like coming from like seeing like Pac-Man as an arcade game to seeing Pac-Man as that, crazy.
Really?
Like you should, if you watch one episode, I would say the Pac-Man one is really cool, and the next one I'm going to talk about is Outer Worlds. That episode was really cool as well.
So are you gonna go play the Outer Worlds now?
No, but like it's such a the Outer Worlds episode is probably one of my favorites because
Okay.
it's yeah. So basically, the Outer Worlds episode is some guy who's like chasing his crush, but when he was younger, and the whole story is just basically about that. It's sad and it's really like good.
Okay.
Armored Core, they have an episode on that. Keanu Reeves does the voice acting for one of the characters,
Okay.
which is pretty cool. Like you can kind of hear his voice come through. Honor of Kings, that one is a voice that you'll recognize right away. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He plays the
Yeah, yeah,
king.
yeah. They said he was in it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so funny. I love this episode too.
Yeah.
I think the Honor of Kings is like another like just obscure game that I don't really care for, but like watching it, I'm like, man, this is actually like a really well made episode. Um, Playtime Fulfillment, that one was like the very last episode. The only thing that was outstanding for this was there's a lot of Sony cameos. So there's Helldivers is in it, and then can't
Was
remember
there God of
where
War?
else.
Was there Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes,
Is there
God of
because
War.
I
God of War also Kratos shows up really quick in there as well, and then the voice actors is Kevin Hart and Kevin Hart's daughter.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And then
New
the
World.
last one I have written down is New World. Let me just remember what that episode was like. There was actually like I think 15 episodes. It was quite a bit.
Oh,
They were like,
actually, you watched them all.
yeah, yeah. Where's the New World one? I wonder if this is the Chinese inspired one.
New World is that
New,
MMO, right? New
the
World is that
Once and
MMO from
Future
Amazon.
King. Sorry, New World is the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What is Honor of Kings? Honor of Kings, I think, is the Chinese one. I've confused them. Yeah, Honor of Kings is this Chinese one. Basically, like he's playing a game against AI or like the Machine Empire, which was kind of cool. The animation, I do have to give it to them. The animation is good in basically all of the episodes. Like
Mm,
that is something that they
good
didn't
quality.
skimp
Yep.
out on. Yeah. Ask me if the episode on Concord changed my mind about Concord.
Yes, I see you have listed here terrible episodes and you have Concord listed. I can't believe they went through
No,
with this episode.
garbage.
Garbage episode.
Yeah, like didn't do anything to like really sell Concord for me.
That's the craziest thing. There's an episode to sell a game that was already long gone and canceled
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the show even came out.
Yeah, like so the premise of the Concord episode was just that they stole this thing and this thing is basically like a safe path for lightspeed travel across the universe against like the big empire.
Mm.
I don't know, it like
You already
was
you
dumb.
also have Mega Man and D&D here.
Yeah,
And
so Mega
Exodus
Man
Odyssey.
was really disappointing for me because like I was expecting something cool for Mega Man, but really it's like a really quick origin story for how he got his powers, which was like I don't know, I didn't care. It was super short. It was like I think like 7 minutes or something like that. Can't remember. And then Exodus Odyssey, I can't even remember. It was probably like something generic.
This is garbage.
Yeah,
D&D?
Warhammer 40K, nothing interesting either. Like, dude.
No, I thought that would be an interesting one.
Yeah, I thought it would be super interesting, but it was just like a quick, I don't know, like a nothing episode. Like I didn't feel any feelings about it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So all in all, if you are gonna watch a few episodes, like I
watch
said,
those
I'd
ones.
recommend the Pac-Man one first off, Outer Worlds, New World. Playtime Fulfillment, like if you're a big Sony fanboy, then watch it. If not,
Yo,
then
dude,
just skip it.
if I'm gonna watch this show, I'm gonna watch all of them, and I'm gonna watch the bad ones just to see how bad they are. That's literally how my brain works. I watch bad stuff just to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely I don't know, I think they approved a season 2, but like honestly after seeing the first season I'm like, yeah, I could have done without watching them all, you know. Yeah, I did get some other movies out of the way too.
What'd you watch?
That's on my backlog. The Wild Robot.
Okay. Oh yeah, that
Super
one.
good.
Yeah.
Like
Isn't that like a remake of an older movie?
No, I don't think so. I think it's like a brand new IP. Reminds me
Okay.
of Wall-E almost, but
Yeah, maybe that's why I thought it was
yeah,
a.
super good. I think when your kids are a little bit older, it's worth a watch. It's like kind of a spin on like the Ugly Duckling
Is it
almost.
on Disney Plus? Or is that on
No,
Prime?
it's I think it's a DreamWorks
Okay.
uh
I thought
production.
DreamWorks
So
was gone or something.
no, DreamWorks is still live. They're making How to Train Your Dragon live.
Mm,
Like in live action of that. That comes out later this year.
okay, Wild Robot.
Yeah, that
That is
one
a bit on the.
dude, I watched all the Sony like crap movies, the
Craven.
villain verse movies. Uh
Oh, dude, you just reminded me. I watched a movie. Okay, keep going, keep going. I watched a really good movie. I just completely forgot. I got it, bro. I got to get off soon too. I got to put my kid to bed. But yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, what else?
you go for it. Go for it. I want to
No,
hear
no,
this
just tell me.
movie.
Just tell me. No, no, I'm the best for last because this is better than any
Honestly,
movie.
okay, Craven the Hunter, not that bad. Actually, pretty watchable. Venom: The
Okay,
Last Dance, garbage. Throw it right in the
the
trash with
trash bin of
Madam Web.
history.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
so bad.
Madam Web. Oh my god. Yeah. So you watched those two. Anything else?
There was a few more I can't remember, but the
The
big one
actor
was
in Craven the Hunter is in the movie that I'm going to tell you about.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
What movie was he? He did a few movies recently.
Just came out, dropped this like December, late December. I can't. I watched it on Christmas Day. I don't know if it actually came out on
I think
Christmas
I
Day.
might have watched that one too. Uh
Is it black and white?
Black and white.
Yeah.
No. Was
Okay,
yours?
that's not. Yeah.
Okay, what was the movie that you watched?
Okay, I watched Nosferatu in
Dude,
theaters.
you can't tell me any of the story.
Anything. Okay,
I
I'm not gonna tell you.
actually do want to watch this.
I'm not
This
gonna
is
tell you
like
anything.
something I actually want to watch.
I
It
love this.
looks
I love this
really
movie.
good.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it scored so good on Rotten Tomatoes too, I think.
It's good. It's good. Whatever. We had one friend that hated on it, but we don't care about his
Yeah.
opinion.
So what was so good about it? It's just like the acting, the
Honestly, to be honest with you, I'm kind of like I'm a little bit of a movie nerd, and I love the the director, the filmmaker who's
Mhm.
behind this because he also has done one movie that's on my radar to watch. I haven't watched it yet, which is The Witch. But he also did The Lighthouse and The Northman, and I love both of those movies.
Yes, yes.
I just love his style. I love the people they cast. I love the I don't know if it's him producing it, so I'm not sure if he's casting the people exactly. Yeah, he's the producer, the writer, and the director. So the people he
Gee.
chooses, the way he writes his films, the thematic style, I just love everything. It's just such. It's just. I mean, do you know what Nosferatu is
Yes,
exactly?
Dracula.
Yeah, it is the remake. I didn't even know this going in. I knew this after the fact. It is a remake of a
Of the
19
original one, right?
well, no, it's a remake of a movie which was supposed to be a ripoff of the original Dracula plot. It's a remake of a movie from 1922, a German movie from 1922, which was a movie that was a ripoff of 1897, the original Dracula novel. But they just changed place names and person names and a few details so they don't get copyright at the time. They still got copyright striked at the time, and that Nosferatu movie was like lost to history for years. There was like bootleg editions going around, but they had to like cease and desist and destroy all versions of it. But it's still like stuck around, and it's been like kind of
Mm-hmm.
whatever over the years. But yeah, so they tried to create this movie again. I just love the vibe. Oh my god, I love this movie so much.
Yeah. Dude, have
Yeah.
you ever watched the original Dracula that stars Keanu Reeves is in it? And the guy who plays Commissioner Gordon in
No,
Batman?
I honestly don't really care too much about Dracula until I watched this. I didn't even know what this was going into. I thought it was just a horror movie. I didn't realize it was Vampire
Dude,
Dracula.
yeah. If you ever want to watch something like a little bit unhinged,
Yeah,
watch that Dracula movie because it's like crazy. Apparently, and then the behind the scenes too. The main guy who plays Dracula is like he was a method actor at the time, so he was like just going around on set being such an asshole to Winona Ryder.
really.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch it and then also like read a bit of the behind the scenes. But like Winona Ryder was actually like scared of this guy.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
and
When did this
basically
movie
she
film?
would like whenever there's like a chance for her to be like with Keanu Reeves, she'd basically be like, "Oh my god, this is the best day of shooting my life," because she's just so over shooting that with the guy who played Dracula.
With Gary Oldman.
Yes, Gary
Yeah,
Oldman. Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's so
This is
funny.
from 1992. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty unhinged. There's some vampire waifus in there too, like the brides
Yeah.
of Dracula.
I think
Show up.
Nosferatu, once you watch it, you will feel like it is a a movie that is meant as if it were meant for an audience back in like 1922 to watch or something. Just the way they talk
Yeah, I
and the
do have to
vibe.
confess, Nosferatu is like lived in my head rent free. Like the image of the original Nosferatu lived in my image when I was a kid. Like literally, I saw it online or something like that. So from like the ages of like I don't know, like many years, it would like scare me at night.
And you'd be freaked out about it at
Yeah, I
night.
would
That's funny.
actually be scared. Like even to this day, it like kind of creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the image right now.
Yeah, yeah. Like the old,
Anyway,
like the black and white, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Good movie to watch,
Creeps
man.
me
Good
the
movie to watch.
break out. Yeah, Count Orlok.
Count Orlok, yeah.
Yes, yes. Creeps me out like crazy. Anyways.
Anyway, I gotta get off, man. We've been talking to each other for like 4 hours between this podcast and the last episode and just getting on.
Yeah, yeah. An hour a
Okay.
week, right? We missed 3 weeks. Like, it only
We
makes
made up
sense.
for it. All right, man. It was nice chatting with you as always. And it was nice having you guys here. And we will post the first episode on Monday, or what do you want to do it? Or just as soon as
Yeah, I think
possible. And the
Monday
next
will
one,
be
maybe midweek.
realistically. Yeah.
Yeah, midweek, just to space it out. Okay. I hope you guys enjoy and see you guys next week. Maybe we will be talking about Dynasty Warriors Origins next week. All right, man.
All right.
Take care.
See ya.
All right.